Hello, hello. Welcome to stream. Hopefully, this is all up and running well. Um, I had plugged in my guitar yesterday. I had to plug it because I had problems with my other port. Um, so my guitar was sharing the same port as my microphone yesterday, and unfortunately, I kind of played the settings a little bit. So hopefully, it's not too much of a problem right now. And also, hopefully, you can just hear the microphone at the moment. But hello, welcome to stream. I'm Harvey VG. I've been away for a few days. Sorry about that. Well, yesterday it was only Monday. It was meant to be. I was meant to be off, but then yesterday we had the infamous Virgin Media issue with their poor service. So maybe I'll get some good service for a while because they kind of owe it to us. um, you can also see. I think did I have this on Sunday? No, I did not have that on Sunday. I've also made. I bought a new Philips Hue thing. In fact, technically I bought two things. So I bought so the first thing I bought on was it Saturday? I think you saw it, but it was like Sunday. Was the bridge. Sorry, there's a few frame drops here and there because I was just starting up the game as well. So you probably saw the bridge on. I think it was Sunday, which I bought on Saturday. But basically, it's just the hub, the central hub that you can use the app for to control everything. Because I left my old one in Vancouver, so when I bought the hub, if you don't do that, then the hue lights just stay in the original natural light color, which is fine. Okay, let me just get this loaded up as well in the meantime. So I can hear my. Oh God, just so I can pause the game, so I can hear myself think. Um, but yeah, so that's the bridge, which basically allows you the Wi-Fi access. I've started, like I said, I started coding. I don't actually need to OAuth it. Turns out it's actually very unprotected in my opinion. Um, so all you need to access somebody's uh Philips Hue information is you just need to know their bridge, basically. That's all you need to know. All you need to know is their bridge. So your router's address effectively. Um because that's what it works off of. So once you know that, all you have to do is access the API that's there and then just communicate with it, and that will give you a user ID, which is the one that's associated with the bridge. And once you have that, you can use that anywhere. So it's like super unprotected, super unprotected. Um, it does have and it has a total API exposed as well. So if you know how to get into that, basically, if you infiltrate someone's Wi-Fi network, you could you could like go crazy with lights and stuff, which would be quite funny. But yeah, I've looked into it either way. So for example, I've got the API up now. Maybe I won't show you the API. I can't show you the API because if you see my ID, then I don't know how to regenerate an ID for it. That's the biggest thing I don't know yet, which I'm trying to work out as well, just as a security measure. um but if I ever do a coding session, what I will probably do is I'll probably just not show logs, and I'd probably just hide. I would alias the ID somehow, like for a property or something like that. So, and the IP address, obviously. Um, but that's the thing with IP addresses, because if somebody buys a Philips Hue, just a normal, because I've got a good setup. Like, thankfully, the person moved. So I'm lodging, as you might know. Um, so the person's who was living here before, or like the husband of the two, he's also a software engineer, so he has a setup and everything, a two router setup, like a access point and bridge type thing. So because obviously these days you get like your home hubs from like, well, in this case Virgin Media. Obviously, as we found out yesterday, it was not great. But they give you like your their router, right? But it's recommended you buy your own slightly better router, if you want like top quality. G Networks one wasn't too bad. The second router they had, the original one was Nokia, I think, and they had to get rid of it. Is it Nokia? No, it's Huawei. Nokia was the second one. Nokia one was good. The Huawei one wasn't good, but we're never going to be using that anymore, obviously, for security reasons. Uh, so yeah. But anyway, so we have a two router setup. So you'd have to brute force. Firstly, you'd have to get into my network. Um, I mean, once you're in the network, you can kind of figure out the bridge quite easily, to be fair, because you know what you're communicating with. But I mean, generally speaking, most users, what would they do? They'd go 192.168.0.x, right? And .1 is usually the bridge. So if you take that into account, that's a very easy way to infiltrate a lot of those lights. But yeah, I mean, I've got mine up and running. I'll show you at the moment. Is there a way I can turn this off, actually? Let me just have a look. I did have the documentation up. And also I'm trying to figure out, so this is the channel rewards part. Let me just copy this image. I'll get Brave up and running. So if I want to copy the image location, I guess, rather than the actual image. But, maybe it's actually, oh no, it's not protected. Okay, cool. Let me add a browser here, actually. Window capture, I guess. Cool, so you should be able to see that. Oh, is that also like, oh, it is masked by the, okay, fair enough. Doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, so you can see the chromaticity diagram, which works on gamuts. So when you see a lot of those RGB images, it's based around these like these three triangles, I guess, with this curve being effectively what is like a natural light lumens, and combining the two together, you have to convert that into red, green, blue. Like, it's not as simple as just going. You need to, so there's like a graph here. You can see what like x and y coordinates. So if you wanted like a reddish color, you'd want to go somewhere between like 0.6 and 0.3, right? If you wanted to go to like a more green color, you'd go to 0.2, 0.5, right? With the middle being the sort of lumens part. So what I'm trying to work out is an effective way to convert that basically into your typical RGB hex value. So if I can figure that out, then we're winning, because I can then just basically, what you could do is you'd be able to do something on stream. You just be able to give me a command or something, like, well, it'd be a channel point redemption. I guess it would on Twitch. On YouTube, I'm not sure. Maybe we wouldn't be able to on YouTube. I don't know. I have to think about that. But basically, what you do is you would input, like, say you wanted a red light, yeah. You would put 255 space 0 space 0 as like the sort of text for the channel point reward, okay. And then that would basically change the light behind me to red. And I don't know what I'd do, if it's like you could control each individual light, or if it's just all the same color. I haven't figured that out yet. That's things I've got to work out, because I've got one there, but I've got 3 behind me. And hopefully if we stream to about 8 p.m, we might get to start seeing it properly. I've got the lights on now, but we probably won't see it in effect for a few hours. But it's actually quite good for like the evenings. It's a shame it's just kind of hit brighter point of the year now. But I've got like, you can actually see through the mirror, can't you? Yes, I've got a skylight there, but it's got no blind on it, unfortunately. Again, like, I've looked at buying options, but because it's a Velux, I might have to look at like custom options for that. I don't know. I'm looking into it either way. But yeah, I want to do things like that. I want things to be interactive, and just like cool things like changing the color of all my lights. And I want to do it myself. Like, this time, I don't mind yielding to other products, but there's a risk with using other products as well. You know, it can be a bit sketchy at times. So yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be playing Resident Evil 4 remake. Oh, also, so yeah, you can see I've got that. Before we get to that, yes, I bought that one. There's now a third one of that. So you can actually see it there. It's just not bright enough. Can you see the one that's like sort of exposed? That's the new one. I decided to put the other stand on it to test it out, and it worked. It looks a lot better. It goes higher, obviously, as a result. But I thought I'd keep the other two as they are for now. Firstly, because I need to see if I've still got the other stands. I don't know if I brought them back with me to the UK. If I did, then great. If not, then it's not the end of the world. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. Doo. So yeah, we're going to be doing some. Sorry, I just zoned off for a second. We're going to do some more of that S plus challenge. I'm going to try and get as far as I can. See how it goes. Who freaking knows? It could go either ways. We found out. But I'm just going to quickly change over to that, so you'll see it in a second. So yeah, I'm trying to get things more interactive, just for whoever wants to watch, really. I kind of just I want to start off my stream just sort of chatting about stuff as well. But honestly, I was thinking today even going through like the GTQ things, but honestly, I'm gonna probably give it a miss because it's not really there's a lot of people who are gonna have like run through it, and I'm not exactly a certified authority in that yet, so I don't think I'm at place to speak. But like, I don't know if there's like a Nintendo Direct maybe in future. That's like precious Tears of the Kingdom last week, but if there's another one coming soon, I'll do that. The E3 stuff, we can react to that. I'll be happy to do that. I probably won't be able to be live due to like regulations and everything. You usually have to be like a whitelisted content creator, right? Or allow list, sorry, content creator. So yeah, you can once it's becomes a VOD, you can react. So I'll just do that most of the time. I think that's kind of what I want to do. I like reacting to things as well and like giving my thoughts. 30th, 19. You know, just a bit of stopping and pausing never hurt anyone. Yeah, so yesterday I did a bit of coding as like I had no internet, and I still had my local area network. Oh, excuse me. Also, my allergies have been rife today, even though there's still not hay fever. It's not the time of year yet for hay fever for me. It doesn't kick off for another like month and a half. Hay fever usually end of May. So I'm probably gonna start taking tablets in May. Like taking them early has been very helpful. Like the years I've done it, but yeah, hopefully that's enough. We'll get on with this anyway. We'll see how this goes. Remember, 5.5 hours of target, 15 saves. Honestly, I could just like save after chapter 1 at this point if I'm feeling it, but I'm going to try a few more times and see what I can do, and who knows, maybe we'll succeed. So let's put this a little bit closer so you're not getting the whole room. There we go. I think that should work. But yeah, I've been watching the speedrun actually. I've been watching a lot of the tech, and there's some really cool things that have come out of it now. Very good point.
No fucking way.
Very good point with the run now, I think, already, which is very interesting. The rule set officially came out today as well for the actual speedrun. Well, I say official, but like for speedrun.com. I knew it was going to happen. Yes, the speedrun. Did I say speed cut? Sorry. Speedrun.com. The rules are, or like the Discord has posted the rules, but obviously speedrun.com is the representation of that. Honestly, it's pretty favorable, and I just wish they didn't allow any 30 FPS changes personally, but it's a very small gripe. It's not a huge gripe, and honestly, keeping it to 2 is better than like it being like a use it all the time. I don't like crutching through things, but I guess it just it's for 2 sections which are might be frustrating without it. So I guess it could be for run health as well. So I do understand. Oh. Okay. Pretend that never happened. Okay, we're gonna have to just reset. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't have any coffee. Barely sipped any of this. Oh, also, I started playing Ring Fit Adventure yesterday. I turned it down by 5 levels from what I was doing when I was playing it in 2021. I think I looked at it. I think I only played it once when I did that. So I'm only on the second world. Halfway through the second world, I did the treadmill one yesterday. And because I live like most human beings in this day and age, I live on a 3rd floor. Well, technically 2nd floor, but like the 3rd story of the building, right? I can't run on a spot. I don't have I don't have grounded ground. So I can't just run on a spot because it will just be noisy for everyone, right? So I have to do like the sort of movement, the bouncing on the spot movement, which is still going to like be a little bit annoying if I'm, you know. But it also means like the sprinting you're supposed to do on the treadmills is really stupid. I didn't realize you were supposed to sprint at first as well, so I exerted all my energy. Like I didn't realize it was like you meant to go like you're sort of meant to lift your legs higher a bit, kind of like the swamps. If you've ever played Ring Fit Adventure, that is. But yeah, it's actually good exercise. Like really good exercise. Like I'm just knackered from it, which is great. What I want. So I'm using it as like my induction to getting back into health and fitness, you know? It's not like my silver bullet to get me back to shape. I just don't think you can. I think you can do well with like core exercises with Ring Fit Adventure. I think you can do really well with it actually. I think for like the whilst there is cardiovascular stuff for someone of my weight and health or my fitness at the moment, I think in the long term you probably want to move to something like running or swimming or getting on a bike as always. Now obviously rowing is like a highly regarded one, but I hate rowing. I will, everyone who says, oh you should do rowing, I'm like, fuck off. Like literally fuck. It gives me like trauma to being a teenager because at my old school we had a rowing machine. And so we had a gym, like full stop, I guess. That's like I said, I was pretty fortunate. I went to like a school which a couple of years before I joined got like a big grant of money. So like they were able to build a new building, which and then like a second new building, it had a gym. Like the sports center was really good at that, like for its time. For like what 2004 or whatever, whenever I was around. Yeah, they had a good swimming pool. Well, the swimming pool was actually been built. Actually, I never got to see the fruits of the newer swimming pool. We still had a swimming pool. A lot of like upper schools had swimming pools, or secondary schools. I guess it became a secondary school eventually. But yeah, it was yes, we had a gym, but like the row machine, like we're back. We're back. Okay, good. Fucking hell. This could be Virgin Media being Virgin Media